a striking and important scientific fact. I tried to give a budget of examples where that hypothesis might come into play, but I refrained from endorsing it completely because I don't believe in it completely. I think it's tentative. I think the most memorable example is the existence of mathematics, which strikes me as, at the present time, largely inexplicable within the context of the scientific tradition itself. But I would certainly include the origin of life, the origin of coded chemistry, the origin of our remarkable human powers from mathematics, music, dance, literature, storytelling, and a whole host of other things. I would probably include our remarkable hand, ulnar opposition between the thumb and the forefinger being unknown in the animal kingdom. We could continue that list of examples. I am not for a minute suggesting that intelligent design is a rival scientific theory ready to leap upon the stage and claim its credentials are fully as meritorious as any other theory. I'm saying it's an interesting hypothesis, and the absolute frothing indignation it provokes is unmerited. It is a serious and reasonable hypothesis. Reasonable men can entertain that hypothesis without fear of anathema.
Well, should I do my little response?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I agree that, in fact, it is an a priori interesting hypothesis. Absolutely. What is important to realize is that it's a posteriori not an interesting hypothesis at this point. Namely, that while it is incredibly interesting to ask the question, it hasn't led at this point to anything of interest. There are everything you said about the universe is remarkable. I agree with you. That's why I do science. And it's just amazing. I was going to almost say beyond belief, but I'm not sure. So I think the only difference I would say, rather than going into the examples you said, is that many of those things we don't understand, and I hope one day to understand, and maybe I will, maybe I won't. But a priori is an interesting question, and from a philosophical perspective, it's a fascinating question. From a scientific one, a posteriori is not an interesting question at this point. Maybe at some point in the future it will be.